welcome back. Okay, so here we are again, another episode of the Q&A of the old Ask Snes. As you can see, the room hasn't changed, still as empty as last week. Getting there, done all the walls, that's all sorted out, filled all the holes in, cleaned it up and tidied it. Hopefully tomorrow I'll be able to start painting. I'm just waiting for the heat to die down because it's so hot. It's just relentless the last 2 weeks, it's been ridiculous. So yeah, so hopefully tomorrow I'll get started, get this wall, all the walls painted. Got a paint inside there as well in that cupboard. Might put a light in there as well just to display stuff, not too sure yet, got to have a look at that. But yeah, it's getting there, progress. So eventually I might actually get to show you some new progress, you never know. It might all change next week, but yeah, we'll see how it goes anyway. Right, so let's crack on with the questions then. So the first question, it comes from McSpark86, thank you mate. Got 3 questions. Question number 1, okay, all platforming related apparently. Question number 1, have I played a Kirby game? I haven't played any Kirby games at all, which is really weird because there's a lot of really good ones out there. And when Epic Yarn came out, I was really hyped for that game. I thought it looked fantastic. For some reason, I just haven't got around to buying that. And I'm not sure, I think it holds its price. I'm pretty certain it's not a cheap game to get still. But I'll have to have a look into that actually. But yeah, once the game room's back up and running, I do want to get that and give it a try. Because obviously you've got Rainbow Curse coming out on Wii U as well, which looks absolutely fantastic. So I don't understand why I've never tried the Kirby games because they do look good. And I really should give them a go on the SNES as well actually, because as far as I know there's a couple of decent ones on the Super Nintendo. So yeah, so never say never, but not at the moment. Question number 2, is there a platform game that you missed out? Kirby. Yeah, that's probably the main one I haven't played. I'm trying to think of others. Unless they're like movie related licenses or something like that. I think the main, platformers like the Marios and Sonic the Hedgehog and all those, the standard platforms that everyone's played. I've played all majority of those. But yeah, I mean, Kirby's, it's really weird actually, Kirby. I don't understand why I've never played a Kirby game. Odd. Question number 3, have you played Super Mario Galaxy 2 since I picked it up? I haven't, unfortunately, mate. It really got to me actually. I mean, obviously, at the moment the room's like this, so there's no way I can play it. But I need to get the Wii set up. I can't get the Wii set up on the main system downstairs because I quite frankly haven't got the room. Well, I suppose I could. There is a way of doing it. I just feel like it's going to be a little bit too cluttered because I've got like the 360, the PS3, the PS4, the Xbox One, as well as like my satellite receiver and everything. And it's looking a bit crowded already. So, if I slap a Wii in there as well, then that's going to be a bit too much, I think. Yeah, so the idea is to put the Wii up here in the game room, and then I can sit down and have a good old play with it. So unfortunately it's going to be a few weeks yet, because I've still got to finish decorating in here, get it all sorted, get some furniture and all that usual gubbins. But no, the short answer is no, I haven't had a chance to play it yet, unfortunately. So thank you for the questions, mate. Right, next question from Devastator200, hello. Right, I've just got to read this because it's a long one. Right, okay. Right, so he's asking me about flash carts because he owns 2 of them for the Super Nintendo and for the Nintendo 64. Right, okay. Right, so at first he was sceptical. Right, but he's actually been quite impressed with the performance since owning this EverDrive 64. Right, okay. I was basically asking if the flash carts were around right when I first started to collect games, would I have gone to the dark side and bought one? That's a really good question, mate. I don't know, to be honest with you. Possibly I might have done at the time, because obviously when I started out it probably would have been a good idea, because I saw Kent Ridley on YouTube pick up the EverDrive for the Super Nintendo. And it does make a lot of sense because it's a really cheap way of testing all the games out on the actual hardware instead of just using an emulator on the computer. So it's a good idea because obviously you can test the games and make an absolute definite decision about what you want to buy, because at the moment the price of the games is just insane. People are just getting really, really silly with a lot of the games. So you do need to be very picky about what you buy, I think. So yeah, I mean, I might have thought about giving it a shot at the time, but I don't know, because I really like the physical cartridge. I like to have the cartridge and the console and the box and the manual and everything. To me that's collecting. It just seems a little pointless otherwise. But I do like the idea of the EverDrive because you can test before you buy. So, and it's not that expensive to buy as far as I'm aware. So maybe, maybe not. I'm not too sure. Also, right. Okay, would I still consider purchasing a flash cart for homebrews? I like the idea, but to be honest, mate, when it comes to homebrew, I like to have them on a cartridge as well. I'd rather pay the extra money. If it's a good, that's the problem with homebrews, you never know what you're getting. So maybe having it on flash first of all to test it is a good idea, because you don't want to buy a duff one for like spend 60 quid on it. But there are some really good ones out there, and to have them on a physical cartridge, especially when you get people like Time Warp Games, who unfortunately don't exist anymore, but when they did, go out of the way to make a real effort and create a really nice box and a manual and posters and, you know, really nice label for the cartridge, and they really make an effort. To me, that's worth getting homebrew for. There's that Mega Drive beat 'em up game that's still in development. When that comes out, I want that on a physical cartridge because that would be awesome. So yeah, but the flash drives, the EverDrives, they all do make a lot of sense really. Especially if you're not 100% nostalgic and you just want to enjoy the games on the original hardware, they make a lot of sense. And obviously, if you're cautious and you don't want to just throw loads of money at something, then definitely that makes sense. So thank you for the questions, mate. Bleeding dog, I don't know what's up with that dog, you know. All it does is yap, yap, yap all the time. Slightest movement and it yaps. You only have to shut the door and the bloody thing goes crazy. Anyway, right, next question. Let me see. So next questions are from Muzz247365. Thank you, mate. Okay, so... Oh, nice one. Brilliant. Apparently, my relentless going on about freedom fighters has inspired him to pick a copy up. So I hope you enjoy it, mate, because it's a really good game. I don't know how it's going to look nowadays, because I know when I played it a couple of years back, it felt a little ropey in terms of controls, but the game is still really good and it's got a decent story. I really like that game a lot. Anyway, so question number one. In which part of the UK are you based in? I'm down in the southwest in Weston-super-Mare. So just outside of Bristol. Okay. Question number two. Any new game purchases coming up? It seems a while since you had a new game video. I've got a couple of videos that I shot a while ago. They're Nintendo NES videos, so I'll be posting them shortly. I've got 2 more of those to post. I haven't bought anything because I haven't got any money. It's as simple as that. I just can't buy anything at the moment. So it's going to take a while, unfortunately. But, you know, once I'm back on track, yeah, definitely I'll be getting back on the old purchasing. But it has been really, really nice as well, to be honest, to not go on eBay. I was going on eBay like 3-4 times a day, and it was getting excessively out of hand, and I was losing control. And it kind of wore me down a little bit. And this past month and a half, I haven't been on eBay. I've probably been on eBay like maybe 5, not even that actually, probably 3 or 4 times in the whole of the month and a half, which is a massive, dramatic drop for me. And yeah, that was just having a quick look really. Usually if like my save searches come through, I'll have a quick gander just to see what's on there. But I haven't actively been searching for games and looking for stuff. You know, it happens when you don't have the money, you can't buy anything. But yeah, it's just been really nice actually to step back and take a break. I know a lot of people seem to be doing that at the moment, saying off stuff and just chilling and playing the games, and that's really what I want to do at the moment. Obviously, you know, when I'm better off in the future, I need to concentrate on Super Nintendo. And I was talking to Arcadiality yesterday. I sent them a PM and I was saying I need to basically, when I get my feet back, I need to just get a load of money together, just save up for months on end, and then just knock off those ridiculously expensive games like Dracula X and Demon's Crest, Final Fight 3, Turrican 2, all the ones that are going to cost me a fortune, because they're only going up and up and up, and they're just going to keep going up at this rate. Unless the market bottoms out, I'm screwed, so I need to make sure I get those. You can get a sealed Turrican 2 for like $500, which is crazy money, but in terms of it being sealed, it ain't that bad actually, because that game ain't that bloody easy to get, so yeah, it'd be worth. But no, as it happens, as I've got 2 more videos coming up for NES games, 2 great NES games by the way, so they're well worth watching those. And other than that, no, I have nothing else coming at the moment, unfortunately. And next question, do you still buy any games from high street stores? You know, mate, I haven't bought a game from a high street store in years, and obviously that's mostly like current gen. The reason being, there's nowhere to buy them from. Game is just ridiculous. I mean, my God, the price difference in game is insane. You'll have a game that comes out on the Xbox One and the PS4. Amazon will have it for 45. Maybe after a couple of weeks it'll drop to 40. Going to game downtown, they want like 55 quid for a game, for the same game. I'm not paying £15 over the odds. That's ridiculous. You know, if a game's 40 quid online and it's 45 downtown, I don't want to wait for it. I don't have a problem paying an extra £5 because it's a store. They have overheads and all that, you know, so that's totally fine by me. But don't take the piss and put 10, 15 quid on a game. That's what idiot is paying that? I don't understand that. And the problem you've got with current gen, last gen, since last gen, the modern games, they drop so fast in price. You know, they come out on the one day. Within a month online, you can usually get like 10, 15 quid off a game, depending on what the game is. You know, they get down to like 25 quid pretty quickly. So there's no real point actually in buying on retail, because you go into a shop and they'll still be extortionate. You know, I mean, everybody knows games got a ridiculous situation with second-hand games as well. You know, the amount of times I've seen a game where a brand new copy is like £45, which is over the odds, and then a second-hand copy will be £40. And I'm like, no, you can't do that. You know, it's also used games about condition. If someone scratched the disc up and that, you ain't getting 40 quid for it. You know, just be realistic. I find that very annoying. So unfortunately, no, I don't buy from retail because they're just too expensive. Even if you go, the supermarkets can be a little bit better, but you tend to get the better deals with them if you do your shopping as well. Then there's like Argus, who are always just standard 40, 45 quid, so there's no real point going there. Where else is there down here? The supermarkets, we've got Game, we've got Argus. Obviously there's Cash Gen and all them, but they're going to be in shit condition. But now, unfortunately, I don't get to buy them from shops anymore, and I do actually really miss that. I miss the days of, you know, going into the shops, because back in the day, even last gen, when I used to live in Birmingham, I used to go to Solihull and going to like Game in there in the centre, and I'd be in there all the time. Like lunch breaks, I'd go into Game, go and check out what the new stuff is, you know, check out what's coming out, check out the pods and try the demos. And I used to like going in there and pre-ordering games and consoles and buying games from the shop. And it was really nice because the people in there knew what they were talking about and they were good. And that's a rarity actually, because most game staff ain't got a bloody clue. But yeah, I miss them days actually. It's a real shame. The convenience of online, unfortunately, everything's cheap and everything's easy. So it's tragedy, because it's going to kill all the shops off at this rate, and it is going to happen because people want convenience and they don't want to pay a lot of money. And especially in this economy, people can't afford to pay a lot of money. And when people like Game are being stupid and charging 55 quid for a game that's 40 quid online, sometimes 35 if you go on eBay, there's no way people are going to the shops. You know, if you're smart with your money, you know what you're doing. I find it really quite stupid as well, considering what happened to Game like only about a year ago, when it all went tits up and we lost a load of games in game stations. They really should have, you know, took a step back and had a think about that and actually used their brains. Clearly the people who run the place don't know what they're doing, but there you go. Anyway, that's a long answer, wasn't it? Next question. Are you planning to catch Guardians of the Galaxy in the cinema? I would love to go and see that in the cinema. As I've said many a time, I know nothing about comic books, so all of these Marvel films and DC films, they're completely fresh to me. I don't have any preconceptions. Same with the TV shows. I don't know, you know, what's canon, what's not. I don't know, you know, all the hints to the past they got. I don't know if they're getting it right, they're getting it wrong. I just watch it, and if I like it, then great. Guardians of the Galaxy looks absolutely mental, and it looks right up my street. I love sci-fi, and I really want to watch it. The problem I've got is I ain't got no one to go to cinema to see it with, and that really sucks. The same with X-Men and Godzilla. When they come out, I didn't have anyone to go see them with, and I'm not going to cinema on my own. I mean, I could do. I just feel a bit weird about doing that, and I don't know why, because I suppose in 2014 there is no stigma as such now. At least I don't think there is, but yeah, it's a shame. I would like to, but I won't, because I've got no one to go with, so simple as that. I'll have to get it on Blu-ray, which is never as good, but hey. Right, okay. Last question is, ninjas or zombies? It's got to be ninjas. Zombies are a bit boring, they're overdone. I much prefer ninjas. Zombies as well. I prefer the zombies like the Dawn of the Dead remake, where they come at you really fast. To me, the Romero zombies are a bit shit. Probably going to get slaughtered for that. I don't really care. I just find that the slow lumbering, dumb zombies are kind of pointless, and you can just run away from them. Yeah, if you've got the zombies in the modern Dawn of the Dead, you got to shit yourself when they're coming at you. You know, that takes some preparation. You've got to be on your toes. But ninjas are just cooler. Ninjas have always been cooler since the 80s. You know, 80s was the decade of the ninja. Just ninja films, ninja TV shows, ninja games. Just a ninja is badass, and you can't go wrong with that. So yeah. So thanks, mate. Great questions. I like them. Next one is from Retro Rich. Right, how long would it take you to finish all the Super Nintendo games you haven't completed yet? I haven't got a clue, mate, to be honest with you. Without knowing the length of each game, it's hard to say. But it's going to take me a couple of years easy, I would have thought. You know, if I was dedicated and I was playing them every night, I could probably do them all within a year, I reckon. Easy. I ain't that dedicated, that's the only problem. And have I played Eco or Shadow of the Colossus on PS3? I haven't played them on PS2, mate. I'm on PS3, so no, I'm way behind on that one. They don't. I'll be honest with you, they don't really appeal to me. I know everyone raves about how great they are, but those kind of games just don't really interest me. They don't, you know, I don't look at them and go, "Wow, I want to play that." I'm sure they're fantastic, and I'll probably play them and really enjoy them. But yeah, I don't. Eco more than Shadow of the Colossus actually. Eco looks really nice. I like the look of that game. As far as I'm understanding, Shadow of the Colossus is just boss battles. That's not really my kind of thing. I find that kind of boring. Whereas Eco looks like more of a platform and looks really, really nice. Is the PS3 version enhanced in any way? They changed the camera to make it better, or is it just a straight up HD upgrade? You know, let me know down below. Right. Okay. Okay. Next question from Blaze Vincent. Blaze asks, do you think the Virtual Console should become a subscription service like the Sega channel back in the day? No. It depends on the content, because the content they give, from what I've seen on the Virtual Console, is really, really good. I don't really see there's any purpose in creating a subscription model unless you're going to make it worthwhile. I don't really, I mean, unless you've got some suggestions what you're thinking about what they could do to make it worth the money. Because I mean, the games they put on there, from what I've seen, are really good quality games. And I don't really see that people would want to really subscribe to it unless they can get massive benefits, like if they get like PS Plus, like you get free games and all that kind of thing. Then yeah, that'd be fair enough. I could understand that. But then you're probably better off having a two-tiered system like Sony, where you've got a PlayStation Plus kind of situation, and you've also got the free access that you can just buy games whenever you wanna, and you don't have all the extra stuff. I mean, I don't know a lot about all this digital stuff. It goes right over my head, to be honest with you, mate. But realistically, no, I don't really see that there's any need to, because the games are that good anyway. You can just get what you want. Next question. I know you said you aren't fond of digital games. There you go. But do you think you would subscribe to a service like the Virtual Console, like this for the Virtual Console? No, not at all. I've got apps. It's hard to explain how little interest I have in digital gaming. I just do not. It doesn't register with me at all. I never think about it. And so to subscribe would mean I actually give a shit, and I'm never going to subscribe because I don't even buy digital games now. I don't download free digital games or demos. I just don't care about digital. So no, unfortunately I wouldn't. But thank you for the questions, mate. Next questions are from PS1 fan. Hello. Okay. He's saying Troy Baker's a fantastic voice actor. Hell yeah, he's absolutely awesome. And his first question is, which game franchise do you dislike the most? Oh, that's a tough one. Now, is it something I dislike from playing it, or dislike just without playing it? I just don't see it, get it. I'll do both. If it was something, if you're talking a franchise that I have absolutely no interest in and don't understand, it's Final Fantasy. And dislike is probably the wrong word. I just don't get it. I don't see the point. I played Final Fantasy VII a little bit, and I was like, this is bullshit, and turned it off. I couldn't get on with that at all. Just taking your turns bollocks. What's that about? To me, that's just not gaming. That's completely pointless. I know people say there's a lot of strategy involved, but yeah, I ain't got time for that at all. Other than that, I don't know, to be honest with you. I don't really find that I particularly dislike any franchise of games. Because obviously, like the trendy things, I dislike Call of Duty, but I don't. It's all right. It's not brilliant. It's not breaking boundaries. It's not changing the industry, but it's just a solid shooter. It's just a bit of fun. Yeah, that's a tough one, mate. Actually, when I think about it. No, I'd say I probably don't actually. Final Fantasy and the whole RPG thing is the only thing that I don't really understand. And if I could actually get into them, I might like them. I think the thing that puts me off is the game mechanics and the fact that you have to put so many hours into a game. I just don't have the time or the patience to spend like 100 hours playing a game. But there you go. Next question, World Cup thoughts. Interesting. I'm not a football guy. I don't give a shit about football. Never have, never will. But I'm one of those people who don't watch football but then watches the Euro Cup and the World Cup. And I've got to say, I've only seen a few matches, but it's been pretty good so far. The England matches were shit, obviously, because we're shit. I know nothing about the rules of football. I know the basics and that's it. I don't know the tactical stuff and all the shit that everybody talks about on Twitter. I ain't got a clue. But we are pretty terrible. The 3 games that I watched were bloody awful. You know, we're just useless basically. Absolutely useless. You know, Sterling was good, give him credit. You know, but other than that, it was just bollocks, man. We were just absolutely horrendous. We're just boring to watch. You know, it's this constant passing back, never really attacking, never really doing anything interesting. I like my football when I'm watching it. I like it to be attacking football. I can't be arsed with all this bullshit, passing the ball back all the time, passing it between each other and looking for it. Just get on with it and play the game. You know, score a bloody goal. I find it so boring. And I found that like a lot of the time, this time, man, we were like playing really close together. We weren't spread out, and I think that hindered us quite a bit actually. Watching the games. The last game that we played against Costa Rica, which was pointless because you know, and it made no difference to us. We were out of the game, but it was really good because it was really full on, energetic. They were more spread out. There was a lot more action. That's my kind of football. But we just couldn't do it. We just couldn't break through. It was nice to see all the young guys just really getting stuck in and to actually see the difference actually between the young set and the Rooneys and the Gerrards and the Lampards of this world, because them lot, they're all just, I'm not going to disrespect them because I know jack about football, but I just think at the end of the day, they're just taking it too easy now. They're not pushing themselves. They haven't got that, they haven't got the will to do good anymore. They don't want it as much as the young guns want it, because obviously they've got so much money in the bank, and as much as they still love the game of football, they're not really motivated to get in there and get stuck in, whereas the young guns are, because they're coming up and they're trying to make an effort and trying to make a name for themselves. But that's always going to be the way. Other than that, the only thing I've really enjoyed was the American match the other night, which was fantastic. I'm trying to think, who the hell were we playing then? Christ, who the hell did we play the other night? And so Americans played Ghana. I missed that match, which pissed me off. I wanted to watch that. Oh Christ, who did we play the other night now? So I'm supporting America now. Now England's out of the game, I'm supporting America all the way because I think they're the underdog, and they I want to watch because I think they're going to surprise people this year. They're playing really well. Who the bloody hell did they play the other night? You know, I can't remember who it was anyway, but whoever they played the other night, I thought, oh yeah, of course, it was bleeding, what's his face, wasn't it? Ronaldo, that's right. Portugal, that's it. Yeah, that game was awesome. For someone like me who does not give a toss about football and doesn't really care about sport, full stop, I was on the edge of my seat. I was coming out of my seat. I was screaming at the TV. I was like, yeah! I was really going for it, and I don't do that. I was so excited. It was such a brilliant game. Unfortunate ending, which the ending was, oh man, I just wanted to slap him for that because there's no excuse for that. That should not have happened at all. But oh well. But 5 o'clock tonight, we're playing again, and we got Germany. And as far as I understand, we just need to draw. So I think both the Americans and the Germans need to draw. So it's either going to be a case of they're both going to try and win it, or they're just going to play it easy and just kick the ball about for 90 minutes, which is a bit of a shame because I really like watching the Americans play. I think they're doing a great job. So fingers crossed, when you watch this, we're still going through and we've qualified, it's all good, and it hasn't all gone tits up. But other than that, it's been great. To be honest, mate, I'm enjoying Wimbledon more. I like tennis, but the football has really surprised me this year. I've actually changed my perspective on it. I never thought I'd enjoy it, but really, really surprising. I'm not going to start supporting clubs and all that crap though. Nah, I can't be asked. Next question. Which new games are you getting this year? Right, at the moment, none, because I ain't got any money. But when I do have money, I want to get Wolfenstein, the new order. I want to get Watch Dogs, because despite all the reviews and the views online on Twitter and YouTube, and people seem to be a bit split with that one, I still want to give it a shot when it's cheap enough. And what else is there? I'm trying to think what the hell's coming out this year. I don't even know, to be honest with you, mate. Oh yeah, Sunset Overdrive. That's the main one I want. I'm sure that's coming out in 2014. Yeah, I'm pretty certain that's coming out in the fall, like holiday season. So yeah, I definitely want to get Sunset Overdrive because that looks fantastic. PS4, I actually can't think of anything. I'm trying to think cross-platform and all. My mind's just blanking. If I had a Wii U, I'd be getting Captain Toad Treasure Tracker because that looks amazing. I love the look of that game. And of course Mario Kart 8 because that's essential. But yeah, at the moment, the main one is Sunset Overdrive. I really like the look of that game and I want to see some more of that, so yeah. And obviously I want to get Wolfenstein and Watch Dogs just to catch up because Wolfenstein looks brilliant. Watch Dogs looks okay, so it's worth playing it. Okay, so thanks for the questions, mate. Cheers. Right, next one. Okay, so you got a few questions from good mate Josh in Australia, Mario and Sonic 1986. So cheers, Josh. And Josh asks, first question, what do you think about the issue of retro or modern game stores charging too much for games? Well, I think I've already touched on the modern one earlier, so we'll skip that. In terms of retro, I mean, basically, that's just the way it is. It's just a market, isn't it? We've got to the point now, we've all been collecting for years and we've got away with getting good deals. Now, everyone's cottoned on to what's happening. They all know that older games are worth some money. Unfortunately, you do get the people who think that all old games are worth money and don't understand condition, if it's complete or if it's loose cartridge or loose disc. They don't understand that some games are more rare than other games. So, common games aren't worth shit. And that's a bit of a pain in the arse. So, yeah, but it's just a market. I mean, it's the society we live in, isn't it? In a capitalist society, you've got to deal with this. People are going to want to make money where they can. And especially in the current economic climate, people are making as much money as they can wherever they can. So I don't really have a problem with it. As long as people aren't taking the piss and being extortionate. If they're just charging like eBay prices or they're charging a little bit over because they've got overheads of running a store, I don't have a problem with that, not at all. Because at the end of the day, it's nice to go out and buy from a store instead of just keep buying online all the time. Yeah, so there you go. And what do you think about it from a business side of view? Yeah, as I say, from a business point of view, they've got overheads, they've got to keep the shop running, they've got to pay for staff, they've got to pay wages and all this, they've got to pay the bills to keep the shop open. So, as I say, you understand if they're charging eBay prices or charging maybe a little bit over just to cover their bills. I don't have a problem with that at all. If they only say like a game's worth 30 quid online and they're charging 33 or 35, you might as well pay the extra couple of quid because you're only going to be paying postage anyway to get it from eBay and it works out around the same. So, yeah, why not? I don't have a problem with it at all. Next question. What is the best movie you've seen this year? Oh, that's tough. I've got one in mind. I'm just trying to think about the films that I've watched there. Hang on a second. A bit of thought. Just trying to think when that last film was I saw. Oh yeah, the last film I saw was Edge of Tomorrow, that was what it was. I was trying to think what I've seen at the cinema last. But yeah, I'm gonna probably... Yeah, because I haven't seen X-Men or Godzilla. So, I'm gonna go with Captain America the Winter Soldier. I thought that film was brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Really, really good story and fantastic cast and the camera work, man. Some of the action sequences in that film are just absolutely stunning. I just love it. I still prefer the first Avenger because that's just more my kind of vibe. But Winter Soldier from beginning to end is just non-stop action. It's just got such a really tight story as well and some fantastic performances. So yeah, definitely. I'm going to go with Winter Soldier. Fantastic film. I can't wait. I've got it on order for Blu-ray and the Steelbook as well. Cannot wait to get that. Next question. Have you ever picked up a game in the wild that was worth a bit of money? A couple of times, yeah. I have it in car boots. I've managed to get a few nice little deals for a couple of quid when I know that they're not worth a massive amount of money, but they're probably worth like, 5 times the amount I've paid for it. So it's always been quite nice to be able to sell them on. And I've also found things that I wanted for my collection, but mostly I usually find things that don't interest me personally, but I know they're worth some money on eBay, so I can sell them on and then fund my collecting. Okay, question number 4. Do you feel there should be more arcade games that should be made for the consoles, and what games would they be? You mean like traditional, like old school? Because I mean, I think arcades are a bit dead now, aren't they? Yeah, I mean, I'd like to see more arcade games reimagined. It's just how they do it. I don't like when they just do a HD version. It's pointless to me. I'd rather they update it completely and revamp the game, and like they did with GoldenEye on the Wii, just expand on it and make it it's still familiar, but it's got a modern twist to it. That's what I like to see. And so if they could do like Final Fight, I'd be well away. I'd be chuffed with that. In fact, just do Pit Fighter. I love that game. And if they did, these are got to be on a compilation disc for me, because I can't buy digital. I ain't doing that. But that would be really awesome. I'd love to see a modern day version of that. I don't know how you do it though, because of the digitised graphics thing. Because nowadays, obviously, they have proper mocap and everything. What other one would be really good? A new Afterburner game would be nice. I'd like to see that as a really good game back in the day. And Cadillacs and Dinosaurs. I really like that game. I've only ever played it on main, but it's a really, really fun game. I like the scrolling beat 'em ups where they put guns and weapons into it instead of just using melee weapons. So yeah, I'll go with them. That would be really cool, actually. Question number 5. What are your thoughts on social versus online gaming when it comes to talking to people and having interaction with others? I don't mind it if it's with friends. If it's like you guys on YouTube, I've done it before. I've played Forza with a couple of guys. Yeah, that's fine. I don't mind doing that at all, because you've sort of got a basis already. Especially, you're going to be talking to people that you pretty much talk to regular on YouTube or Twitter or Facebook. So you know what that person's like. You get a good sense of their personality. So I don't mind doing it. I'm not a massive social gamer. I don't really want to play online. It doesn't interest me. I'm more of I hate to use the word solitary, but yeah, I like to play the single player campaign and get involved in the story and get lost in the world. But occasionally it can be nice to play online. Back in the day, when it all started off, I used to play Halo 2 all the time with friends from work and like local friends who had grown up with. And at one point I was playing with a mate called Dave, who was one of my best mates' husband, and his mates. And then I started playing, what was it? I think it would have been Call of Duty 2 was the next one. I played that a lot. My mate Rich at work, I played with him a few times. Played some Gears of War with Rich actually. I can't remember if we did co-op or not. I know you have to let me know, Rich, in the comments below. I can't remember if we did co-op. I know we did like deathmatch games. So I remember chainsawing you. And yeah, I played some Halo 3 as well. I still like that. So I mean, it can be really good if it's with the right people. It's fantastic. I don't like to do it with randoms, because I just can't listen to kids just talking shit and playing music and all the other irritating things that everyone's aware of. It just winds me up. I don't have time for those idiots. But other than that, yeah, it's alright. Next question, number 6. What do you think needs to happen to get the world's economy... Start again. What do you think needs to happen to get the world's economy back on track, especially in Europe and North America? Jesus Christ, I don't know. I'm not an economist, mate, I don't know. I mean, obviously you've got to invest in business. That's something they're trying to do. Our government's trying to do that at the moment, which is good. That's important. You need to make sure that the businesses have a reason to be in the UK. I'll use our country as a basis, because that's where I live, obviously. They need to have a reason to be established here and to employ British people and not just ship everything over to China. That's really important, because obviously that's knackered the economy quite a bit. They need to get the banks lending again, get all that sorted out. I mean, I don't know a whole lot about all this. I know little bits and bobs. Yeah, you basically just need to create jobs, which creates money, and people can then spend, which then gets the economy rolling. I mean, it's pretty basic stuff in that respect. And it's just not that simple, because the previous government bollocksed our country good and proper and left us right in their shit. And this current government are doing their best to try and get us out of it. And it's a long, hard road, a very hard road. But yeah, that's the main thing. Just invest in businesses, give them an incentive to stay in this country. And it'd be nice to see British business come back, because the British industry just went away, man. Yeah, we got screwed. Unfortunately, China make everything dirt cheap, but it's also really shit as well. They can't make a damn thing that's any good. Yeah. Everything you buy now is crap because it's made from China. There's no disrespect to Chinese people; they just can't manufacture shit. You know, you get everything dirt cheap, but it is crap because it's dirt cheap. It just breaks and doesn't work properly, and it's, you know, unreliable. And I suppose, you know, America's probably the same because they are quite close to us in, you know, in terms of society and economics and policies and political stuff. Political stuff in politics, yeah. So I mean, I would assume it's probably the same over there. I don't know. I'm sure Americans will let me know down below. Let me know what you think, guys. Right, thank you, Josh. Okay. Right, so that's it then. That's the last question, unfortunately. Oh, it was going really well then, and all. So yeah, thank you very much to everyone who asked me a question. I've really enjoyed that. That's some really good questions this week. Hope you enjoyed this video, guys. Obviously, there'll be another video next week, so if you do have any questions, just pop them down in the comments below and I'll answer them next Friday. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to watch more videos from me, just click on subscribe. That'll keep you up to date with all my new videos. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all again soon.